Eric, they've got two starting guards there at 17.6 points. Maybe you could just give a scouting report on those guys, Stewart and Molinari, and just how tough is it to put together a game plan when you got two guys that are averaging that many points?
No, they're both really talented, and Coach Holland uses them, really well. Both of them can make threes. Molinar shooting 51% from three, and Stewart shooting 37% from three, and they both can dribble drive. They're both excellent transition scorers, so you've got to find them in transition. You're going to have to contest the three and also play him for the dribble drive because, Stewart especially is a high volume free throw attempt player, and so is Molinar. So, both guys really, really tough covers for sure.
And Ben Howell was just saying he thinks their last three games is the best they've played defensively all year. What's your take on their defense, and what do they do defensively?
Yeah, I mean, they've held their last two opponents to 56 points. And they control tempo, first of all, that helps their defense, and they help and they keep the lane compact. And, his teams have always been excellent defensive teams that are physical. They do a good job defensive rebounding. So they try to eliminate your second shots. But, all the teams that he's coached have always been really, really good defensive teams.
Okay, I got a couple more, but I'll turn it back to Mike if time
Curtis.
allows to come back around.
Hey, Coach, was just wondering if you had a chance to check in with Jalen Williams today, and then if he's banged up with as much size as Mississippi State can throw at you, do you foresee maybe an increased role for guys like Ethan or Vance?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, anytime you're down a guy, it opens up an opportunity for another player. So, how that all plays out, Jalen's doing everything he can from a rehab standpoint. It's just a painful, it's a painful injury, and we got a couple other guys a little nicked up, and right now it's go down to practice, see who's available, see who can give us an hour and 15 minutes worth of practice, and then get ready for a tip. The good thing is we still don't play until 8:00 at night. It gives guys a little bit more rehab time in the training room, and try to get swelling down and so on and so forth. But yes, I do think it'll give an opportunity for some other guys.
Nate?
Just with Jalen Tate, kind of what do you say to get him back after a rough game?
Not much. I mean, I think he knows that that we need more from him than what we got at Oklahoma State. He's been in shooting a lot on his own, and he's played really well for us, with the exception of a couple games. And there's no doubt that the game at Oklahoma State was his worst performance since he's been here, and I think he recognizes that, and just got to come back and have a good, solid game for us.
Does Davis become more of a point guard now off the bench, maybe than he was, or still kind of combo?
No, I think he's more of a combo guy that continues to learn three different positions for us, and a guy that we're going to need to be a great loose ball getter and a long rebounder, and a guy that figures out when the offense breaks down to beat people off the bounce, just as he's been doing. I think he's done a great job in his role of late.
Thank you.
Hutch?
Yeah, Coach. Justin, after the game on Saturday, said he thinks this kind of quick turnaround's good after kind of a heartbreaker like y'all had. Do you agree with that, or do you still kind of wish you maybe had the extra day of preparation?
Yeah, Hutch. I mean, I'll tell you after tomorrow night's game, whether I like it or dislike. I wish everybody practiced like they were happy that we were playing on Tuesday yesterday. That would have been great if everybody would have had incredible energy with the quick turnaround, because I think we had some guys that were tired yesterday. So we'll see how we regroup today and then get ready for tomorrow's shoot around.
Scotty?
Hey, coach, through you guys' first 13 games, I think you were averaging north of 25 threes a game. And over the last 5, I think you're somewhere around 16. Was that a matter of you telling the guys, maybe after the LSU game to not settle offensively and be a little bit more aggressive? Or what has kind of led to that?
Yeah, I think just a combination of a lot of things. I think one, just we've had way better shot selection. That's why, we've won 3 league games in a row and we played well at Oklahoma State against a good team. We came up short. I think our shot selection's been way better of late. If guys are open, we want them to shoot the 3. I also think it depends on who you play, on how shots are dictated as well, Scotty. So we do have better shot selection for sure, which was addressed several games ago.
Randy?
Eric, this is a Mississippi State team that scored a season high 95 against Iowa State, and then against Tennessee just scored 53. Is this a game that's going to be dictated on who controls the tempo?
I think they're going to control they have the ball half the time, so they're going to be able to control the tempo for half the game. And we heard this going into the Ole Miss game, who's going to control the tempo. And, I think that we've become flexible enough, Randy, where if you look at our numbers, we're actually more effective in half court play than we are in transition, which would probably, not add up to what the general perception is. But if you actually dive into the numbers and us finishing at the rim and so on and so forth, there's areas for us to really improve in transition. Having said that, we would like to get up and down the floor as much as possible. We don't want, we can play a grinded out game. I thought in a game against Tennessee, it was pretty low. I thought we grinded it out with them well enough for most of the game. So I think that our team's flexible enough that we can kind of play 2 different ways. I think the big thing for us is sharing the ball and getting high quality of shot on the offensive end.
Bob?
Yeah, say Bob, right? Eric, I know this is only your 3rd game against Mississippi State, but they've won 6 in a row. Ben Howland at Mississippi State's 3-1 at Walton Arena. I know it was a heartbreaker last year here. What do you remember about that game last year? And what do you think about the fact Mississippi State's won 6 in a row and Ben's 3-1 here?
Yeah, I thought both games, I don't have the stat sheet in front of me. I think both games were pretty close, both at their place and our place. Obviously at 0.6 seconds or whatever, Adu tipped the ball in. That was a game that, if it ends a second earlier, we win that game. I think, is that a game that we were missing a player as well?
Yeah, Isaiah missed that game.
So I thought we played good enough to win, didn't win. Other than the 2 games that we've faced them, everything else to me is irrelevant, really, Bob.
So as far as 6 in a row, like I said, I know you weren't a part of a lot of those games, but does that just impress you that?
Justin wasn't part of it. Note wasn't part of it. Tate hadn't been part of any of the games at all. Vanover hasn't. Devo hasn't. Vance, Jalen Williams, Ethan and Desi, the only 2 who have been a part of 2 of them. So I don't think that we're going to go down there and talk to our team about what's happened, 3 and 4 years ago against Mississippi State.
You sound a little hoarse. So do you have a cold, or is it just from yelling a lot?
It's from yelling at Oklahoma State. Yep, I feel 100% healthy. Yeah, I guess there was, like I said, it wasn't a normal pandemic crowd, so I had to yell a little bit louder because of their student section was close to us and fairly full.
Okay, thanks, Eric. Get you a throat lozenge or something, maybe.
Okay, Coach, I believe that's all for today. Appreciate your time.
Thanks for going easy on me, guys.